Hello my Wolfpack and welcome to the PBAL Week 7 Team Builder. Now this week we are battling Australian Arcanines coached by Jetman, and I'm going to be honest, I'm recording this in well after the battle. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks. You can tell that by the fact that my background's changed and the background's going to remain that way in newer videos, so you can tell when I've kind of had this backlog. I think I've got like 5 Team Builders to record. But this week we are battling Jetman and the Australian Arcanines. When the battle comes out, you need to watch the entirety of it. I will tell you that much now. Like, watch the entirety because it is hands down the most crazy battle I have ever had on the channel. It is hands down. Like, you cannot imagine what happened. So yeah, just plugging that first of all. Yeah, my team on this week. Obviously, no. Let's go over the Jetman's team. So Swoobat, very scary. Obviously, Simple is a really good ability. Galvantula, obviously setting up the sticky webs is a big problem for my team. Celebi is not something that I'm too concerned about, but it could be a problem with like Venusaur because it can wall it. Comfy, which is kind of scary. I've seen that used so many times to really good standards. It's always low tier, but Triage is just a really good ability and it just does problems, honestly. Drapion, which could be a problem, but I feel like I've got coverage enough for it. Excadrill, which inside the sand from Gigalith, hands down problem. Sork, which could be another problem as well, but I have got a couple of mons that can deal with it. Chandelure, if it goes unchecked or if it's scarfed, it is probably going to be a problem. Dracofish, again, in the sand is a big problem. We know we used Dracofish in the RBL Season 2, and it completely destroyed. Fair enough, that was single. So fair enough, that was doubles and singles, but we all know that Dracofish is just a destructive Pokemon, especially when it's got that speed boost. So, very scary team. I have had to come up with the best that I could think of to deal with this. So, my team, we've got Blaziken. First of all, Blaziken with the Expert Belt. Expert Belt obviously boosts up the move damage if it's super effective. And I've got a lot of super effective attacks here. So like Scorching Sands hits the Excadrill and the Chandelure for super effective damage, and the Gigalith, and even the Drapion. So obviously the Expert Belt is going to get the boost there. We've got Flamethrower, which hits the Galvantula. It hits the Excadrill again. It hits nothing else. It just is a good attack to have. It has Focus Blast for a bit more coverage, just on a few more mons. And then it has Sunny Day to get rid of the... especially if I get rid of Gigalith early on. If I can Sunny Day to get rid of that Sandstorm, then we are going to be in a pretty good situation. Because 1, boost the power of Flamethrower. 2, we don't have to worry about either the Sand Rush or Sand Force on Excadrill / Dracofish. EV-wise, I've gone for max special attack and 220 speed. With a timid nature, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on this because, as I said, I recorded this a few weeks ago. I believe that is to outspeed the Sork. I think that was outspeed the Sork. It might be the Dracofish, but I'm not 100% sure. Actually, the Dracofish makes sense. I think Dracofish is base 75, so I think it was Dracofish, meaning that I can get an attack off on it. Moving on to our second Pokemon, we've got Mudsdale, who's proving to be a really destructive force. It's tier 4. To me, tier 3 Pokemon. I honestly think that it's going to work really well. It has worked really well on this team. We've got Mudsdale, leftover stamina, because it combines really nicely. We have got Earthquake, which obviously hits things like the Excadrill, the Chandelure, the Gigalith, and we obviously wall those pretty nicely. Rock Slide, because it has coverage on a few other mons like the Swoobat, the Galvantula. It hits neutrally on Celebi as well. We've got also Stealth Rocks, because that extra damage every time something switches in is going to be helpful, especially if Gigalith keeps someone switching to set up the sand. Obviously that Stealth Rock option is going to be really good. We've got Body Press, which obviously will hit along the lines of like Excadrill again, especially if I get burned for some reason. I'm trying to think what would burn me. The Chandelure, definitely with Will-O-Wisp. If I get burned, then definitely the Body Press is going to come in handy, especially if I get the Stamina boost as well, because things like Excadrill, whilst they have a lot of attack power, I'm going to be able to live those hits because I resist both the stats. Well, no, I resist one of the stats. Similar like Gigalith. yeah, Dracofish is just a problem when it comes to Mudsdale though, so I do need to pay attention to that one. EV-wise, I've gone for defensive this week. I could have gone for the max attack as well, but I decided to go for instead. But I decided to go for defensive here because I thought I needed a defensive mon, especially with the offensive output of this team. Moving on to our third Pokemon, we have got Venusaur. Now, Venusaur is working absolutely gorgeously in this team, but there are 2 Psychic types and a Flying type here, and a Fire type, which is a problem. I'm not going to lie, it's a problem. Venusaur with Black Sludge on here. We have got the Chlorophyll, which allows us to speed up, obviously in combination with the Sunny Day from Blaziken. We've got Sludge Bomb, which hits things like the Comfey for super effective damage. It hits the Celebi for super effective damage. It hits like the Dracofish for neutral damage. Hits the Swoobat for neutral damage as well. Earth Power, which obviously covers on the Excadrill, the Gigalith, and the Chandelure. Dracofish can't really touch us too hard unless it's with Psychic Fangs, and even then it would have to be the Strong Jaw ability rather than the Sand Rush ability. We've got Leech Seed to allow us to get some passive recovery on here as well. I think that will work really nicely from Venusaur's point. And then we've got Toxic. Realistically, Toxicking things like the Gigalith is going to be helpful, the Sork, the Comfey, because Comfey is just a pain. Celebi being Toxic would be good. Swoobat being Toxic would also be really good. So having Toxic on there as coverage is going to be really helpful. EV-wise, I'm with max HP, max special attack. Under Chlorophyll, I outspeed everything unless it's Scarfed. But yeah, that's kind of my thought process with this one. Moving on to our fourth Pokemon, we've got Dracofish. We've got a Choice Scarfed not Dracofish. He's got Dracofish. We've got Dragapult. Choice Scarfed Dragapult. This allows us to outspeed everything, even if it's Scarfed. Dracofish in the sand, we do outspeed. I think we didn't outspeed it by like a lot, like a lot. So that's why I went for the Choice Scarf here. We just got that really high speed, and I just realised I didn't put 64 EVs in it. So you know, that happens, I suppose. But yeah, we got max special attack, we got a good amount of speed, that's Choice Scarf there. Curse Body, I found that Curse Body has been working really, really nicely. So I've been using that over Clear Body instead of Clear Body or Infiltrator. I thought Infiltrator because people like using subs, but no one's used sub against me, so, you know. We've got Dragon Pulse, which obviously hits the majority of the team except for Excadrill for neutral damage. And it, I believe, one hit has a chance to one-hit KO the Dracofish as well, which is really, really solid. Flamethrower, obviously coverage for the Excadrill. It covers on to the Celebi as well. We've got Surf, which hits like the Swoobat for neutral damage. It hits Galvantula for neutral damage. The Flamethrower hits that really hard as well. But Surf hits the Gigalith, it hits the Chandelure, and it hits the Excadrill, which is really solid. And Shadow Ball just for a bit more coverage because it hits a few more mons and it's a boosted stab attack. So yeah, that is Dragapult in a nutshell. Next up, we've got, I think the debut of Snorlax on the team. Running immunity here because I could definitely see there being some kind of poison aspect, especially from Comfey or Celebi, or even Drapion. I could definitely see me getting toxic. So immunity I thought was really, really helpful. Assault Vest to allow me to live more attacks from things because realistically I do need to be able to live things. We've got Body Slam, which will hit really hard, has a chance of paralysis, obviously paralysing things like the Excadrill, which normally wouldn't be able to, but with Body Slam you can. Dracofish being paralysed as well was going to be really helpful, so that's what I'm hoping for. Earthquake, which is just really destructive against this team. Fire Punch, which covers the Galvantula, covers the Celebi, and Outrage, which covers the Dracofish mostly. That was the main plan for the Outrage, but, you know, it hits everything except the Comfey on there as well. So, yeah, that's what we can go for in some scenarios. EV-wise, I've gone for a lot of attack, max HP, a little bit of special defense investment, just allows me to live a few more different hits. There's not any specific reason why I've gone for these, but I've just decided to give it a little bit more special defense so it can live one or two more attacks, probably from the Celebi there as well. And the thing with Snorlax as well is that it doesn't care about sticky webs because it's already so slow. So obviously sticky webs, whilst it can be a problem, it shouldn't be too bad. Moving on to the last one, we've got Thunderous Fury, and we've got Nasty Plot here. Nasty Plot, obviously, one of the best sets for Thunderous Fury, and it allows it to go to +2. And at +2, it can kind of wreck through the team. I've decided to go for Defog to get rid of Sticky Webs if they come up, because, let's face it, Sticky Webs are a big problem. And obviously puts Dracofish back in a situation where Excadrill or Dracofish can cause me big problems. We have got the Nasty Plot, Thunderbolt, which hits almost everything for neutral damage. So like the Swoobat is hit by super effective, Comfey's hit for neutral, Drapion neutral, Sork neutral, Chandelure neutral, Dracofish neutral, and Gigalith neutral. We've got Focus Blast for the coverage on the rest of them. Galvantula is a problem, but at the same time Galvantula can't do a huge amount to Thunderous, so I can just Thunderbolt that or even set up Nasty Plots on it. That's not a problem. And then Defog, as I said, to get rid of Sticky Webs on the field. I went for the max speed on this thing, the maximum possible speed. There is a Pokemon that is base 100, which is Celebi. I want to outspeed it. I thought that would be really beneficial to outspeed it by 1, so that's why I decided to go for that. But yeah, that is my team. What do I think is going to bring? Galvantula 100%. Excadrill, Dracofish, Gigalith are definitely coming. Chandelure I could definitely see coming. And I can see any one of the rest of them coming, essentially. It's got a really solid team, so I'm, you know, panicking. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you.